Children are the future of any society and they shape the world's future. But today, we see many children under the effects of child labor. They are either paid or unpaid workers today.
The problem of child labor has been a major concern to any economy, may it be developed, developing or underdeveloped.
As per ILO report 2006, 190.7 million children are engaged in economic activities. The highest number is in agricultural sector. They are engaged in hazardous and non-hazardous works like construction, brick kilns, glass factories, fireworks, manufacturing, etc.
It is believed that child labor is a consequence of social inequality, attitude of underprivileged class, lack of employment opportunities, poverty and most important, lack of parental motivation. Poor family children are considered a source of income.
There are various reasons behind why child labor is occurring, and poverty seems to be the principal reason. Now let us examine the other causes of why child labor is occurring.
Poverty. Poverty is a primary cause by which child labor is happening. Many a times, poverty forces parents to send their children to work, and parents are even compelled to send their children to do hazardous jobs. Although they know it is wrong, they have no other alternatives as they need money. Poor parents are compelled, and under their poor circumstances, they have to send their children to work. The second cause is illiteracy. Illiterate parents do not understand that they need to send their children to school. The children need proper physical, mental and emotional development. The illiterate parents don't understand. Overpopulation is another cause. Most of the Asian and African countries are overpopulated. Due to limited resources and more mouths to feed, they have to send their children to work so that they can produce enough resources for themselves. Urbanization. The Industrial Revolution has its own negative side. Many MNCs and export industries in the developing world employ child workers, particularly the garment and textile industries.
Elders often find it difficult to get jobs. The industrialists and the factory owners find it profitable to employ children as they can pay less and extract more work from them. They will also not create any union problems. Children with no parents and relatives often do not find anyone to support them. Thus, they are forced into child labor. Market demand. The demand of child labor workers exist as they are docile, obedient and hired at cheaper rates than adults. They involve no long-term investment or part of industry in terms of insurance.
International scenario for child labor. How is child labor an international problem? Child labor is a global phenomenon and exists more or less in all countries. The prevalence is significant in developing economies like India. The incidence of child labor has no doubt declined, but is still significant among Afro-Asian countries. In the year 2000, Africa had 24.92% child labor, followed by Asia, which was 10.18%. The reason, as discussed, was overpopulation and poverty. An ILO report of 2003 states that there were 246 million child laborers aged 14 years or less in the world.
National scenario of child labor. According to the 7th All India Education Survey, it was currently found out that there are 17 million child laborers in India. A study found out that children were sent to work by compulsion and not by choice, mostly by parents, but with recruiter playing a crucial role in influencing decision. When working outside of the family, children put in an average of 21 hours of labor per week. 90% of children employed work as domestic help. 90% of working children are in rural India. 85% of working children are in the unorganized sectors. About 80% of child labor is engaged in agricultural work. Millions of children work to help their families because the adults do not have appropriate employment and income, thus forfeiting schooling and opportunities to play and rest. Children also work because there is a demand for cheap labor. Large number of children work because they do not have access to good quality schools. Poor and bonded families often sell their children to contractors who promise profitable jobs in the cities, and their children end up being employed in brothels, hotels, and domestic work. There are approximately 2 million child commercial sex workers between the age of 5 and 15 years, and about 3.3 million between 15 and 18 years. 500,000 children are forced into this trade every year.
The initiatives taken by the Government of India to eradicate child labour. The ICDS is the Integrated Child Development Service. So what are the objectives of this system? Building the foundation for physical, psychological and emotional development of the child, to improve the nutritional health status of children below 6 years of age, and the reduction of rate of mortality, morbidity, malnutrition and school dropouts. The Child Labour Prohibition and Regulation Act of 1986 describes a child labour as a person who has not completed his or her 14th year of age and doing labour works.
Why is the government ineffective? In spite of these actions taken by the government, child labour is still prevalent. Even in our own locality, let us see few interviews of different people and know their perspectives. These interviews may answer the question that why is the government ineffective and will also change your thinking.
अच्छा, तुम्हारा नाम क्या है? दीपू।
उम्र क्या है?
कितने साल के हो? 14 साल के।
और रोज कितने टाइम काम करते हो? 3 बजे से। कितने बजे तक? 8 बजे। 3 बजे से सांझ 8 बजे तक। और कितने साल से ये नौकरी कर रहे हो? अभी से चालू किया। मतलब कितने साल? 2 साल? 2-3 महीने।
3 महीना हुआ।
तो पहले क्या करते थे?
पढ़ाई करते थे।
पढ़ाई कब तक की? कहाँ तक की पढ़ाई? 5 तक। अब नहीं करते हो पढ़ाई?
पापा ने बोला छोड़ दे।
ऐसा नहीं है तो घर क्या खाना है?
ऐसा नहीं है।
पढ़ाई तो करना पड़ेगा ना।
એ લોકોને 8 કલાક મજૂરી કરવાની હોય, પ્લસ 3 કલાક ઓવરટાઈમ હોય. બાકી વધારે કમાવા માટે ગમે એ બાળકો કરવાને કારણ કે મા બાપની પોઝિશન એવી હોય તો છોકરા ઉપર ડિપેન્ડ હોય, છોકરાની આધારે એ લોકો કામ કરાવતા હોય, બની શકે એવું. આવા બધા વસ્તુઓ તો રહેવાના છે. અને આપણો સમાજ, આપણો દેશના અમુક સમાજ એવો છે કે જે હાવ ગરીબ નિમ્ન કક્ષાનો હોય છે. એ માણસ માટે આવું જરૂરી હોય છે, બની શકે. બરોબર છે. આ વસ્તુ એને કરવી પડી, પરાણે કરવી પડતી હોય, એને કરાવી ન હોય તો છતાં કરાવી પડે.
તમારું નામ શું છે? તમારી ઉંમર કેટલી છે? તમે ક્યાંથી આવ્યા? ગીતા. ગીતા શું છે? ત્યાં તમે શું કરતા? શું કરતા? અને કેટલા કલાક કામ કરતા? 2 કલાક હર રોજ.
કામ કરવામાં શું કામ જવું પડતું હતું બેટા?
બાળકોને અમે ભેગા કરીને શિક્ષણનું કામ અપાવીએ છીએ. બાકી ગીતા કારખાનામાં આવડાવડા ઘણા બાળકો છે, 8-9 હશે કે જે હજી હાલમાં બાળમજૂરી કરે જ છે. અમે બોલાવવા જઈએ ને તો એ કામ કરતા હોય પણ અહીં આવે નહીં, પરાણે અમારે રેડી લઈ આવે.
એ લોકોના માતા પિતાને તમે સમજાવવાની?
તો એ લોકો પહેલાં જ એ લોકો જ કરાવે છે. એમને કંઈ તો એમ કે આજે કામ છે, આજે એમના મા બાપને પણ સમજાવ્યા કે તમે અમને ભણાવો તો કંઈક આગળ આવશે ને એમને ફાયદો થશે. અને હવે એ લોકો ન સમજે તો પછી બીજાને
એટલે તમારા શું વિચાર છે બાલમજૂરી વિશે?
બાળમજૂરી નો જ કરાવવી જોઈએ એમ, કેમ કે છોકરાઓને અત્યારે ભણવાનો દિવસ એમ કે હજી નાના છે ત્યાં સુધી તો એ ભણવાના જ છે, મોટા થઈને ગમે કામ કરવાના જ છે. અત્યારથી આગળથી ભણે કે કંઈક બીજી ગમી મોટી નોકરી ન લઈ શકે પણ ક્યાંક બીજે ક્યાંક તો બિઝનેસ કરી શકે ને. એમાં મા બાપ સવારે 5 વાગે ઉઠીને ફરમા બનાવે છે, એની હાલત એ જ થવાની છે.
બધી જગ્યાએ અહીંયાથી માંડી માળિયા તાલુકાથી માંડીને હળવદ, ધ્રાંગધ્રા, સામખિયારી કચ્છમાં જોવા જઈ, ભચાઉ, ગાંધીગામ, જ્યાં જ્યાં સોલ્ટ છે ત્યાં કોઈ પણ એવો એક સોલ્ટ નથી 16 વર્ષનો બાળક કામ કરતો નથી, એવો કોઈ સોલ્ટ જ નથી. પણ કાયદાની દર્શીએ એટલી ખાલી બતાવતા નથી.
એટલે એની સાચું કરે છે ગવર્મેન્ટની દ્રષ્ટિએ બહુ સરકારને ખાસ કરીને વિચારવું પડે આની માટે. જેનો ગામમાં ખોડો નથી, સીમમાં શેઢો નથી અને મજૂરી સિવાય પણ એનો આધાર નથી, તો આના માટે સરકારને શું કરવું જોઈએ?
ખોરાક માટેનો વિચારવું જોઈએ, એનો રોજીરોટીનો કેવી રીતે પૂરો થઈ શકે.
કઈ જાતની તકલીફ થાય છે બાળમજૂર?
બાળમજૂરનો એક તો જોવા જઈએ તો એનો શરીર નબળો હોય છે, બીજી રીતે કે એનાથી કામ પણ ખરેખર થતું નથી, થવું જોઈએ એટલું નથી થતું, પણ ન કરે તો એ કંઈ આધા કર્યા વિના છૂટકો નથી, એટલે ધીમે ધીમે થશે. ને એન્ડમાં જોવા જઈએ તો જ્યારે એની 30 થી 35 વર્ષની ઉંમર હોય છે એ સીધા અને આખા શરીરના હાડકા દેખાવા માંડી જાય છે ને માથામાં બાલ પણ સફેદ આવી જાય છે. આવા દેખાય છે જ રીએ.
Child labor is a great problem and it is really sensitizing. But what is the solution? Let us talk to some of our teachers who showed real interest in this topic.
Well, I would like to say that child and labor, the two words, they don't go together. When you think of child, you think of happiness. A child should be free and full of life and should be able to enjoy. So labor and child, they don't go together. What the government should do is become stricter. Okay, they should have more volunteers and more trained staff, so that people, they can go into rural areas or even scout around the urban areas. And actually, when you see children working, you need to crack down on those establishments. And we really need more than juvenile homes or orphanages or any whatever we have now. That infrastructure is not enough. So you need people, you need more resources, human resources, who will go in and actively work with those children. The first thing that an individual needs to do is stop pitying a child. Okay, when you go to a tea stall, buy a cup of tea, when you're traveling, at that time it is very easy for people sometimes, to hand a 10 rupee note or a 20 rupee note. I think you should stop doing that, because that becomes an incentive, I believe, to adults who then use the child. Okay, secondly, don't employ a child, no matter how cheap the labor may be. Some people also have this habit, they take servants with them when they travel. Very often these servants are little children. Okay, their parents have left them thinking that, okay, they will at least get 2 square meals a day. So that kind of thing, I think individuals should stop doing. See, the primary solution is all of us, we need to become aware. Again, you cannot shift the responsibility onto the government. Ourselves, we need to fight against child labor by making sure we don't employ child. I feel every family should adopt one child. You see, in India, what happens, I'm not sure whether that is just in India or all over the world. They're desperate to have children. You have many couples who don't have children, and some couples who have more than 2 or 3 children. So I think, if all of us, every adult, anybody who's earning, if we could adopt one child, okay, maybe not bring that child into our homes and take care, but at least, the child could stay with its parents and just become responsible for that one child, supervise that child regularly. I think each of us can.